Today we're going to show you how to change the water inlet valve on your dishwasher. It's a really easy job. All you're going to need is a 1/4-inch nut driver and a pair of needle nose pliers. Let me show you how we do it. Now, to do this repair, we would need to remove the access panel at the bottom of the dishwasher. It's held in place with a couple of 1/4-inch hex head screws on either side. And then the fill valve is located directly in on the left side here, and it's mounted to a mounting bracket, again with two 1/4-inch hex head screws. Then the inlet water supply and the outlet tube from the valve would need to be disconnected. Now that can be done through the front of the dishwasher, although it is a little tight in there. So for the purpose of this video, we're going to show you from a different angle. We'll actually pull the dishwasher out of the cabinet and do the repair, and then you can choose which method you'd like. Because we're going to be working in an area where there are electrical wires, the first thing that we need to do with this dishwasher is to disconnect the power supply to the dishwasher before we begin the repair. We're also going to want to turn off the water supply to the valve and then disconnect that supply from the fitting. Now next, I would suggest removing the fitting from the valve. Since it is mounted firmly, it makes it a little easier to do that with it mounted. And we'll save the old fitting. Next, we can disconnect the wire harness to the valve. Set that aside. Then we're going to remove the two 1/4-inch screws that secure that valve to the mounting bracket. Probably get away with loosening one of them and then removing the one on the front, particularly if you're doing this job with the dishwasher still in place. And then you can pivot that valve forward, because there are just slotted holes on that bracket that engage those two screws. And you can pull that out far enough. Take your slip joint pliers, squeeze that clamp, and slide it down the outlet tube. And you can remove the tube from the old valve and discard the valve. Now the first step in replacing the new valve will be to reconnect that outlet tube, keeping in mind how the valve is going to be sitting on its bracket so that you have access to that clamp. Seat the hose fully onto the valve, and then with our pliers we'll position the clamp at the end of the hose. Make sure that we have a tight fit. Next, we can insert that valve onto the mounting bracket. And we'll tighten the one screw that we just loosened. And we'll hold it in place. Then we'll install the screw that we removed. Then we can remove that protective plug on the inlet to the valve. Then we'll install some new Teflon tape on our fitting and then reinstall that fitting. And we'll tighten up that inlet fitting. Try to get that roughly in the same position as the old one was. That will make it easier to connect your supply. So we'll next reconnect that water inlet. Put the wire harness back on the valve. Set the dishwasher back in place if you removed it. Reconnect the power. Put our kick plate on and our repair will be complete.